which
what's that like?
Never done that.
What, he thinks he's better than us?
Right. Fuck you, Dylan. You think you're better than us?
Get the fuck out. You're like, maybe I won't.
Maybe I was just about to say maybe I won't.
I know you pretty well.
Putting myself to sleep. Anyway. And this is off the rails.
I'm ready. The sun will come out tomorrow. I didn't even know you were doing that. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow.
Also, disclosure, I don't know what the fuck is going on with my lighting today. But as you can see, I have a new background.
Yes!
I'm going to fix it to make it look better. I promise.
I like it. I mean, it's better than before.
Correct. That's our motto lately is it's better than what we've been doing.
Baby steps.
So, but now I feel like it's bright as fuck in here and washing me out. So I don't know what's going on. I know it, so you don't have to tell me, okay? Please don't. It'll hurt my feelings.
She's like, if you read me to filth in the comments about this, don't, because I already know. You look great, and your background looks great.
Thank you.
Thriving.
Okay,
go watch us.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Thoughtfully Chaotic podcast of what? Boundless Conversations.
Boundless.
You better have answered that correctly. I'm Shelby.
I'm June.
And we're on the same page.
That sounded really good on my end.
Let's hope that that's how it is.
Lady just left me. Oh, but she's laying on the blanket.
She just
Our pets have been giving us a moment, guys.
Yes, they have.
But welcome back. See, we said he would start sleeping once we got started.
He knows. He knows when it's time.
He knows the rules. Well, welcome back. Hello.
Hi.
How are you, Shelby? I'll take that as pretty good.
I am pretty good. I don't have really any complaints. I'm doing good over here.
Okay.
Doing good down over here and down here in Florida.
I'm sorry. What?
You heard me.
Was that English?
that was their Floridian.
I think that's exaggerated. I don't think.
Okay, sorry. I'm good. How are you doing?
That hurricane. It's got her shook up. That light breeze she had from the
light breeze.
Guys, Hurricane Helene? Is that her name? Helene? She was supposed to shake Shelby up, didn't. Came for me instead.
Gave us the perfect fall weather I think I've ever had in Pensacola. And it was beautiful.
We did have a lot of leaves fall off trees because like trees just like were like blown over. So,
yeah, Indiana somehow got the worst of the hurricane compared to me.
I know.
Not the worst of the hurricane. Thoughts to those in the rest of Florida.
I can't stop laughing at all. The second it got serious, I was like,
you're gonna get it canceled.
Anyway, new subject. Anyway, so we're all okay from the hurricane.
Yes, we're okay.
Oh my god. Well, I'm a little low energy today, if you can't tell. But
I don't think they will be able to tell. None of that was low energy.
That's fair. The pod pumps me up. I'm high spirits because for the pod.
You guys.
Yeah. Spirits are high. But I'm tired and I feel less than great, and that just happens sometimes, but
yeah.
I'm here. I'm here and I'm putting Shelby to sleep. I'm kidding.
Listen,
but anyway,
I woke up way earlier than I wanted to today.
My bad. I feel like that's my fault.
And we still didn't even start till almost 11 o'clock. So you guys know we were supposed to start at 9:30 my time. It is 11. And we're 5 minutes into the pod.
But I'm still drinking my coffee.
We're
5 minutes in. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, do you want to tell us about your bad and goods?
Sure.
Okay.
So my good is that we are safe from the hurricane.
Praise be.
And that we had good weather from it, actually.
Gratitude for the hurricane.
Stop it. Stop it.
Anyway.
Yes, I am happy we're safe. I was worried. But we are safe. That's my good. Also, we didn't have school because of it, which was nice. Yeah. So I got an extra day off.
Gratitude for the hurricane.
Shut up, dude.
It's obviously a joke, guys. If you can't figure that out, I'm looking at you, audience. If you can't figure that out, you don't know us very well. I have dark humor, okay? Obviously. Anyway.
Oh my god. Sorry. Putting myself to sleep. Anyway. And this is off the rails.
It's not the rails already. Some of our most chaotic episodes, I do feel like, were when one of us or both of us said we were not feeling great. So maybe that.
I think because the brain isn't quite braining for the one person, so it just transfers to the other. It's not, oh, I'm feeling not great, so the other person needs to like take the reins and like get it together. It's, oh, you don't feel great? Great. Then we're all just gonna.
I'm just gonna melt my brain down too. I'm just gonna give up. No, I'm just kidding.
And
oh my god.
So my bad also kind of has to do with my good. So my bad is that Dylan's been gone, and I miss my man's. He's on a bachelor party weekend.
He abandoned you.
Yeah. And so like that sucks, and I miss him. But it has given me and Clyde a lot of quality time, which I have very much enjoyed. And he's probably like, all mom does is leave and sleep. And he wouldn't be wrong.
That's what the pod thinks too. I'm sorry, the audience. I'm just kidding.
It is pretty much all I do. If I'm at home, I'm sleeping or eating. And so Clyde is probably like, does this bitch do anything? I play with him kind of. We play fetch until he gets tired, and then we nap together.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. So what does the bonding look like? But
yeah, so it's a lot. Like, he normally isn't a cuddler, because when we're both home, he's like, I know dad's gonna play with me, so he's very like pew, 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 pew. But then like, since dad's not here, like I'll play fetch with him, or you know, whatever he wants to do. But then like we snuggle and cuddle, and he's just been so cute and sweet. So what up, Light?
I didn't mean for him to just like take up the whole frame. I thought he was gonna lay on my lap.
He said, nope, I'm here too. Everybody say hi, Light.
Hi, Light. Oh, hi, buddy.
Oh.
Well, I love it for you and Clyde.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, those are my bad and goods. And
okay, so Dylan's
what
gone.
About your bad and goods? I need to stop talking like that. Slap me every time I.
Looks like I'm like swatting a fly.
Same thing.
Well, my bad is just mainly that things are hectic and busy, and I don't feel very good, and you know it's not ideal. But I've got a dog laying on me, so that's pretty good. No, I mean,
makes it better.
Yeah, I mean, even though things have been really busy, like before we started recording, I was telling Shelby just like how my week had been, which was basically how the last 3 days were like full of work, and then the 2 days before that were like podcast, and really all of it was good. Like I enjoy doing the podcast. That's why we do it. And I like my clients that I saw this week. And honestly, I made a lot of money. So like that's sick. But but I'm exhausted. I'm drained as fuck. Like I now have no energy, and maybe that's why I'm not feeling so great. I don't know. Or maybe that's just me, but you know,
Probably
that's a
both.
bummer. It's probably both. Yeah. But to turn this into a good, I mean, it's kind of a bummer that like I'm still busy like right now, like this weekend and stuff, especially now that I don't feel very good, but I'm about to go on our trip. So that's all I need to feel better. That's my good. So yeah, I don't think we said on the pod because my mom texted me. She's like, "Where are you going?" Because I didn't tell like damn near anybody that we were going on this, because I booked it last minute, kind of. But we're just going to the Dominican Republic. We're going to the resort we went to our honeymoon at. So yeah, I can't wait. I mean, we're only going for a few days, but anything's better than nothing, and I'm excited.
How exciting.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my good.
Love that for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I'm like just gonna lay in the sun like maybe 24/7.
As you should.
Yeah.
You better.
You're like, actually, I'll fight you if you do not. That's
Are
all,
you guys
folks.
gonna do any like of the excursions or anything?
So we
or is it
wanted
gonna be like
to go.
Just chill?
We wanted to go to Scape Park, which was one of the excursions we did on our honeymoon, that we loved. But when we decided to, so basically we like haven't been saving for a trip. And so we almost talked ourselves out of going, because it's like, well, will this stress us out like financially? And if it does that, we shouldn't do it. And so we both agreed on that. And then it's like, well, hold on, like we want to do something. That's where like we just shortened it. And we decided to like skip excursions because we're only going to be there for 2 full days. But it's like, well, we don't have time to do anything. Like, let's just hang at the resort, which is what we're paying for anyway. So,
right. And you can get everything you need there.
Literally. So yeah, I think we're gonna skip all the like
every
fluff.
entree for me.
I can't wait. The food, yeah, the food was so good. Oh my god. Light heard food. He was like, "Say what?"
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I'm excited.
But I'm excited for you guys.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I mean, shoot. Once again, like we're like, she leaves, and the day she comes back, I leave, and then the day I come back, she leaves. Like it always works out like that. I don't know
how that always happens. Well, I do.
So weird.
We're on the same
page. We're killing it. Well, do you want to take us into our next subject?
Let me look you in the eye, audience.
I feel attacked. I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to think of how to word this without sounding like a complete bitch.
Well, just be a bitch.
You are not better than anyone else who eats McDonald's, okay?
Wait, are you talking to me actually?
Because I'm talking to my mom. But anybody else.
Does she not eat McDonald's?
No. So
you're talking to me.
I know, okay? I'm talking to anybody who thinks they're better than anybody else because they don't eat McDonald's or fast food. Because
I don't eat no fast food.
Listen, I hate a bitch who, like, if I'm like, I eat McDonald's regularly. I love McDonald's. I eat that shit up. That is my guilty pleasure, okay? My mom said that should be a pod topic, by the way. Guilty pleasures. But anyway.
Oh, good one. Write that down.
Write it down, guys.
Audience.
I hate when I'm like, oh yeah, like I got McDonald's last night, or oh, I'm gonna go by the like McDonald's drive-thru or whatever, and a bitch has the nerve to be like, I don't eat McDonald's. Bitch, okay, you're not better than me. You're not better than me because you don't eat McDonald's. I don't go when you're like, oh, I don't eat McDonald's. I'm not like, oh, I love McDonald's. Like, okay, cool. Dope. But every bitch who doesn't eat McDonald's or fast food or whatever, and they have the nerve to be like, when I'm excited about going to McDonald's and you're like, I don't eat it. Fuck you.
Oh my god, this is too good. Because I'm just like, you are talking to me. Like, into my soul.
Well, June, you're not fucking better than me, okay?
Well, okay, can I give you some context? I was just talking about this with somebody like a week ago, so that's kind of funny. You read my mind.
And Mom, I'm not actually calling you out. I just said I was going to, and I am.
No, she's
and I do
out.
feel strongly about it. So
she's not calling you out, she's calling me out. Okay, for context, I've been one of those bitches who thinks I'm better than everybody for not eating McDonald's since like high school or maybe middle school. So you have to give me some credit for my consistency.
that I have held this since high school. That I have thought I was better than everybody since high school. You should be happy for. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
I had a brief blip in that, which was when I worked there, and all that did was re-solidify why I shouldn't be eating it. So,
did I ever say, have I ever said that McDonald's is good for me, or that like that should either be what everybody eats? No, I didn't. I know what I'm putting in my body, okay? I know what I'm doing. That's why it's a guilty pleasure.
That's fair.
They have free Fry Fridays, okay?
What is it?
Free Fry Fridays if you have the McDonald's app with $1 with a purchase of $1.
You have the app?
June, you're not better than me.
You think you're better than me?
You think you're fucking better than me because you're not.
I just throw a drink in your face.
Bitch.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm heated.
I'm getting
But I
heated.
feel like that about anything. Like I just hate when like somebody like says something that they're like that they like or that they're like excited about or something, and somebody has to be like, I don't like that. Or what is that provide? What is that providing to the conversation? Besides, now that person feels less excited about what they were going to do.
Well, Shelby, what you're asking people to do here is be aware of things that are outside of themselves, and people don't do that. They're only thinking about themselves.
Because they think they're better than everybody else and think that everybody gives a shit about their opinion. I'm here to tell you nobody gives a shit.
Okay, that's fair. I do feel like, because we could take this into like so many fucking directions. But one thing that just came to my brain is like, I don't think we should be shaming people on what they eat. Personally.
I don't think we should be shaming people on anything unless they are harming other people or themselves.
Agree. I totally agree with that. I'm always like, I don't care what you're up to as long as it doesn't hurt me or my loved ones. Or innocent people who shouldn't be affected by what you're doing.
Sure.
But
because even like, you know, sometimes like, you know, when I used to play video games a lot more, you play video games?
Who did
I
that?
could never do that. And I'm like, did I ask you? The only thing you have contributed to this conversation now is that I feel slightly bad that I'm going to go play video games.
Why the fuck does anybody care that you're playing video games?
Why does anybody give a shit if I'm eating McDonald's?
I mean, I agree.
Ooh, I heard that echo. Whoa. That was crazy.
You're like, whoa, maybe I need to take it down a notch.
That's Riverside.
No, bitch, yell. You're choking me.
I'm killing June.
But no, I mean, so personally, I don't even think I actually do that. Even though I'm acting like I do that. Like, do I think I'm better than people for not eating it? Probably. Like, deep
Fuck
down,
off,
I probably
June.
do.
You're not better than everybody else because you don't eat McDonald's.
But while I might think that, I don't think I put that on them. I think I keep that to myself. Because I don't want to shame people for what they eat. They can eat McDonald's. I don't choose to eat it. It makes me feel really bad. So why would I do it? You know?
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. And I don't think we should shame people for anything, but I also don't think we should think we're better than people because we don't do something. Or like even just fast food in general. I don't eat fast food.
Well, that's where it can be a conversation. It can be, oh, I don't really eat fast food because XYZ. Like, what about it do you like? That's where I like to turn it around and just be like, I want to learn like why you eat it.
I'm open to that. I love that. But it's the tone, the face, and just the straight comment. It's literally what I've been doing. I don't eat fast food.
Okay, whoever's doing that, I am gonna slap because that's annoying. Just take that face off your face. Take that look out of your face.
Take your face off, okay?
You think you're better than me?
You think you're better than me? Anyway, Mom, that's not an attack on you. You brought it up, so I had to say it.
But it is interesting. I will say the last time I tried to eat McDonald's, I got a migraine afterwards, and I was like, this is a sign.
My body has adapted. I have red and yellow just going through my veins.
I mean, their fries are great when they're fresh. We'll say.
Free fry Fridays.
That's crazy.
If you have the McDonald's app with just a purchase of $1. So every Friday.
Those poor employees.
Every Friday, I go and I get my free fry and a large Coke.
Me and Nathan both worked there. Why do you think we don't? Well, okay, actually, he still eats it, but
June, I don't care if you eat it or not. You're just not better than me because you don't.
Fine. Fine.
And if any of you are gonna judge me, fuck you.
She doesn't care.
I don't care because guess what? Next Friday, I'm getting my free French fries. What are you doing?
How often do you actually eat there, would you say? Like in a week?
I would say...
Should we say fast food in general or just McDonald's? I'm curious about both. So that I can think I'm better than you.
Fuck you. Okay, I'm going to expose myself, all right? I probably eat McDonald's at least once a week.
Okay.
Sometimes twice.
What's the most in a week, you think?
Probably most is like 3 times.
Oh.
Because like, okay, so I always get my free French fries, okay? Always. So that's on Fridays. Which I'm not even getting a meal. I'm literally eating a medium French fry. Like,
what do you spend the dollar on?
My large Coke.
Oh, you're one of those. I do talk shit. Okay, you want to think you're better than people. People think that McDonald's Coke is better than everybody else's, and I'm actually calling bullshit on that. No, no, that's bullshit.
Yes, it is.
No.
It is crispier.
What the fuck does that even mean? That's some bullshit.
Audience, settle it. Is McDonald's Coke better than anyone else?
They're all delusional. I worked there.
You're delusional. When it's majority versus just you, June, who's the problem?
I personally do not really like Coke.
Okay,
I will drink it.
Then you don't count. You don't count.
No. Your opinion isn't better than me because you like Coke.
No, but it's more valid because I like Coke and we're talking about Coke.
Because I don't like Coke very much. Like I will, I don't think it's like abhorrent. I just like won't choose it.
She also thinks she's better than us because she doesn't drink Coke.
I mean, a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm just kidding. I do think I'm better that I like Pepsi over Coke. I am better for that. You're like, that's a bold
Jude's opinion
statement.
Officially doesn't count for anything. Doesn't count for fucking anything. And from
You're
this
like, I need
point
a new
on,
host. I need a new
and
co-host.
the podcast will be canceled after this episode. So
you already knew that. We figured this out during rapid fire.
And it still pisses me off. It will piss me off every day of our lives.
Oh my god. Anyway, because I don't like Coke, I am not disillusioned by the myth that fucking McDonald's puts cocaine in their Coke or whatever.
So that makes it better.
No, I'm saying I don't believe the myth, and therefore I try it, and I'm unbiased, and I'm like, no,
you don't have the necessary information or data to back it up because you don't fucking drink Coke.
I don't drink Coke regularly.
That's enough. Anyway.
Whatever. It's done.
Anyway, if we're talking about fast food in general, it's mainly during like really busy times. Like if it's just like I just have school every day, I will cook more at home. And it's not that much, but like the past 2 weeks and the rest of October is going to be very busy, and I'm not going to keep going to the grocery store and then like cooking food that I'm not even going to be able to eat because I'm leaving. So,
I mean, I can't really talk. You want to know what my version of getting fast food like a lot would be?
mm-hmm.
Getting Noodles and Co. Specifically because it's 4 minutes away from my house.
Is that considered fast food or no?
I would say it's fast casual.
Okay. Yeah.
But it feels healthier only because I don't feel sick afterwards. So to me, it feels healthier.
I'm just saying,
I love carbs.
I don't feel sick after McDonald's.
Well, and I think that I feel sick because I never eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, then my body's like not very used to it. Because that's how I was with like the dorm food at Ball State. Like when I was eating it all the time, I was okay. But then if I had it randomly, I was like, I'm not good. Like,
that's fair.
My belly.
I miss Noodles and Co. though. I fucked that shit up.
Do you not have any down there? It's 4 minutes from our house. It's basically like I can take a different route home, and it's like on my way home. I have the app, so I just like place like the order, and it's running in like 9 minutes.
You have the app.
The Noodles app, not the McDonald's app. It's somehow better. Your mom agrees. Okay, fine. I agree with you.
Thank you. Damn straight you do.
Oh my god. Anyway,
I'll settle down now.
Settle down, bitch. You're like, maybe I won't.
Maybe I was just about to say maybe I won't.
I know you pretty well. Well, should we move on to our next subject?
Yes.
Of the day?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to intro this other than saying that I had written this down at some point. Don't know why, but something
on
obviously.
The toilet.
Sorry. That's not when I wrote it down. That's when I had the idea to talk about it today.
Okay.
Bitch. Anyway, wrote it down at some point in the past. Was looking for ideas today on the toilet. Because my other idea I didn't prep for, so tip. Calling myself out. And this one felt right because I was literally just talking about it a bunch at work yesterday, and it was kind of weird that it kept getting brought up. Because basically my client and I started talking about it, and in a way that like I feel like we could like talk about today. And then my coworker, our barber, Justine, who's on the Besties episode, she was there, but must have not heard us talking about it. But then later, she commented on our playlist that was playing, which was like something I had put on. Because I was like, there's a joke that like I always put on inappropriate stuff. Whoopsie. So I was like, is the music okay, guys? And she was like, yeah, it's making me feel really productive. And I yelled to her because she was far away, and I was like, oh, are you trying to trigger me? Because of like what I'd been talking about with my client, like thinking she had heard us, and that's why she was bringing it up. And then she was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, we were talking about productivity. Like, isn't that why you said it? And she was like, no. And I was like, oh, like, that's fucking random that you said music was productive. Like, that's just such a weird, like, way to describe it. So I thought we could talk about it. Okay. But, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts, like, before I launch into shit?
It's something I'm working on in therapy. As everything else we talk about on here.
Okay, which I love. Well, let me just read. I googled this when I was on the toilet.
I know you did, girl.
You're like, I've been there.
That's where I'm the most productive, is on my toilet.
I was like, Shelby, I feel like especially knows like what I was feeling.
Yes.
Anyway, all I did was Google toxic productivity. And so I'll just read what first came up. I didn't read it before.
Good.
Toxic productivity. Oh, this is the AI overview. So let's see what Google tells us. Toxic productivity is a mindset that causes people to work excessively and prioritize productivity at the expense of their physical and mental health. It can lead to burnout, depression, and other mental health issues.
And so then if you were to ask Google, use it in a sentence, it would be June has toxic productivity.
It would just be my face. Be like, if you see this woman, that's what it looks like.
That's your example.
Well, really, what's fucked up is it's, maybe I shouldn't say the majority of women, but it's such a like trope of like the modern woman, isn't it?
Well, me and June were talking about this before of like what we were going to talk about, and me and June are actually opposites. So for me, no.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but you can recognize that it is one.
Yeah, it's a very like, I feel like woman trigger or geared toward women word.
Hello?
A word geared more for women.
She glitched. Yeah. I mean, we could talk about that for days. But I'll say the next thing that this says. Here are some signs of toxic productivity. See, I'm so toxic that I can't read. Anyway, always on. You feel like you can't stop working and you must always be on the clock. Check. No downtime. You feel like you can't rest or take a break, and you worry about what else you should, quotes, be doing. No joy. You lose the joy in everyday activities because everything you do is a step towards a larger goal. That's a bummer. Avoidance. Toxic productivity can become a way to avoid dealing with difficult life issues. So, interesting. What do you think about that?
I just am so opposite of that.
Well, hold on.
That it's...
You could probably relate to this from like college though, right?
No.
Really? Because you said that you were like always going.
I mean, okay. So and this is part of like what we're trying to like figure out in therapy. Like, you know how a couple episodes ago I said my therapist says interesting a lot?
Yeah.
In our last session, I made her essentially stop our therapy session because she was so struck by the complication I was having. I'm at work, or I'm a workaholic in a sense of like when I'm at work, I'm go, 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 go. And when I was in high school and college, I was a workaholic because I loved earning money. And I loved showing that, like, look at me, look how good I am at my job, make me, like, put me in leadership, make me a manager, whatever. But because teaching, I don't get extra money for doing extra work or picking up shifts or whatever. I'm not really like that anymore because it's not monetarily, like driven. Now when I'm at school, I'm, as go as I can be, but trust me, I'll put those kids on iReady and sit my ass down at my desk. I ain't got no problem doing it. And during my planning time, I'm in my room watching TikToks with my feet up on my desk.
Well, shit. All right.
So like,
okay. So yours has to be like driven by an outside. So really an extrinsic force. Do you know like intrinsic versus extrinsic?
Yes.
Well, for audience sake, extrinsic would be like what Shelby's saying. So like something outside of her was driving her to do that, money. But with the toxic productivity thing, I think it's usually based off an intrinsic, like something internal that would be driving it. And that's what makes it toxic, I think, usually.
Yeah. Well, because I feel like in the toxic product, because when I'm at home, I mean, you guys have heard about the deaths, right?
I think they have. They should have.
But I feel like with the toxic productivity, I feel like that internal, like, intrinsic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounded wrong to me for some reason. The intrinsic force is almost like you could be doing more. Like you need to keep going. You can't be resting right now. You have all this other stuff to do, and that's what makes it toxic. And I have a little bit of that. But what we're doing in therapy is almost because she's like kind of like related it back to like my ADHD, and that like I know there's stuff to be done, but I have no motivation to do it. And so, but when I'm laying on my couch or whatever, I am thinking about all those things of like, oh, the dishes need to be done, or I need to cook dinner, or I need to do this, I need to do that. But my body is almost like being like suctioned onto the couch. Like I physically cannot move. Like no matter if I even was like, I'm gonna get up right now, my body is like, no. And then I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Why are you not doing this? You could be doing this. And then by time like 3 days goes by, it's all piled up and becomes so overwhelming that I can't do it. It's too overwhelming now.
Well, I kind of feel like because of what you just described, like, but you're saying like that means you're not doing, like, you're not productive or you don't suffer from this productivity thing. I think it means you are, because you can't even rest without shaming yourself into such, like, you get so driven into that like kind of shame spiral that you are stuck. And that's the ADHD part, like what you're stuck in it. But your mindset is still, I should be doing XYZ.
Yeah.
Which is the toxic productivity. Like your brain is telling you
instead.
Exactly. And you're like, we're almost like rejecting it. And that's where it's like, I'm just like turning off.
Yeah.
Instead.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting.
Take that what my therapist says.
Just take her this episode and be like, listen to this.
Here's this. She'll be like, I heard it before. I've been heard that.
Okay. So that's interesting. Yeah.
But yours is the constant like go, 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 go. I mean, just what we were talking about before the episode. Like you almost like can't even cancel something that you were more than okay canceling. Or because, I should be, even though you have all this other shit going on, and you still are like, I could still go though. Like, bitch, no.
Like, can I
go have a death or something? Jeez. You think you're better than me because you don't have a death?
No, I would love it. I would love to have it. Well, I don't know, because I used to do that and I fought it because of my productivity shit. And now I just don't sleep. So actually.
So there has to be a happy middle between the two of us. There has to be.
I think it exists.
That's called productivity.
That's called being healthy. What's that like?
I've never known it.
When will we find someone we can interview that could tell us what
if you label yourself as healthy, please reach out.
Like so the 1 in a million person.
Honestly, it would be Dylan almost.
Well, sorry, whoa.
No, I'm not fucking around.
Well, I didn't think you were.
Oh, well, when you laughed, I thought you were like, yeah, Dylan. That guy.
Okay, why? Why do you say that?
He just, like, I mean, when he sees something needs to be done, he can just go do it. And like then he doesn't have any guilt about it. He doesn't have any like, oh, I have to do that right now. He's just like, oh, I see the trash needs taken out. I'm gonna do that real quick. And then he just goes about his day. Or like, oh, like Clyde's litter box needs to be cleaned. Let me just go do that real quick. And then just goes about it. Like he does so, like he just is like in a good rhythm of like when things need to be done, they get done. And then he just like continues on like a normal human. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's interesting because I will say in trying to be healthier with it, I think which I know I've probably talked about this before on here, one of the things that really helped was like telling myself, it's the mindfulness thing. Like, what do I need to focus on right now? And when I would do that, and, you know, like, let's say, like, for instance, today, when I don't feel so great, when I'm like, what do I need to do right now? That answer would be rest.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, my body is telling me I should do that.
Yeah.
But that's where in the past, I was never checking in. And I wasn't mindful because I was stressed or depressed or fucking some other combination of bullshit. And so, like, I couldn't do that. And so I was just like, oh, obligations, people pleasing, like, I've committed to all these fucking things in advance, even though I'm not capable of doing it all because I don't know what I'm capable of.
Well, and that's what Dylan. Shut up.
Well, I didn't. I mean,
yes, I know.
From a physical.
Yeah. Well, and that's also what Dylan does so good at, I feel like, is he, even if he commits to stuff, if he genuinely does not feel good or mentally good or just doesn't feel like doing it, he has no problem being like, hey, I'm not coming. Or he has no problem being like, no, I don't want to do that. Which is so crazy to me because I'm like, but they reached out and said that they want you there. So why would you not go? And then, oh, but it's last minute. You can't cancel because then they're going to be upset. And he's like, if they're my friends, they're not going to care. He's like, I don't want to go do that. So why would I waste my happiness to go do that? Or my time, I could be doing something I do enjoy to go do that. Now, if it's something like, if it's a birthday and he has nothing else going on, or like he's like perfectly fine, or like if it's something I really want to do and we like haven't really done something in a long time, or, you know, whatever, he'll go do it even if it's not the first thing he wants to do. But like if it's like the boys are gonna do game night at somebody's house, he'll be like, I don't want to go do that. So no.
Yeah. I feel like that's what I'm learning to do, like as of very recently. But what that basically is he's just not people pleasing.
Yeah.
That's all that you just described, I feel like. Yeah, right. Dylan, get on the show. Because and he's just listening to himself.
Like, the other productivity things, like the small things that need to be done around the house, or, you know, whatever it is, he's not getting burnt out or getting like that to that point of like, my body's telling me to rest, because he's just doing what he knows his body needs, I guess, or mentally needs, which
what's that like?
Never done that.
What, he thinks he's better than us?
Right. Fuck you, Dylan. You think you're better than us?
Get the fuck out. Well, yeah. What if that just means that this toxic productivity shit is almost like just another form of people pleasing? Because it is kind of us ignoring ourselves, but to be like for ourselves. Because like I'm being productive for myself.
Yeah. I think it can stem from like outer people pleasing and people pleasing yourself. But your brain is like tricking you into thinking you're being pleased because you're getting all this stuff done, when in reality your body and the other part of your brain is like, bitch, we need a fucking break. Would you stop? Like, would you like chill out? But then that's when you get into like that shame spiral, or that thought of like, well, I could be doing all of these things. Why am I just sitting here? And then that's also not good. So
yeah. Well, and an interesting, like, to bounce off that, because something you said made me think about it, is like from a neurodiversity standpoint, specifically like ADHD, like essentially is like a lack of dopamine in your brain, kind of. And when you like check things off a to-do list, that is like such a like quick hit of dopamine specifically. So like I can see where for people it's like they could almost make that their coping, which I think is where it turns to like women, especially like the trope of like the stressed out woman, or the busy woman, the woman who can't sit down, is that like almost like it's a coping mechanism of just like, well, I can't sit still within myself because then I'd have to feel, and I'd have to like whatever the fuck, I don't know, hard shit. Or it could be neurodiversity. I don't fucking know. But like there's something that's telling you like I can just do things And then, I don't have to.
Well, and I feel like that very like kind of stereotypical of like this is more of a woman thing versus a man thing is not it's almost stereotypical only because I feel like because a lot of men aren't like this. Not all, obviously, but like I feel like it's not a very prominent male trait to have. And so then it becomes that stereotype of, well, the woman is doing everything around the house and everything with the kids and all this stuff, and the man's just like sitting there. And I think it's because the male doesn't have that drive to have to do all that stuff, but the woman does. And it almost like has to be like this team thing of, even though the man doesn't have the drive for it, but they see the woman struggling with it, then the man, I feel like, does need to step up and like kind of take some of those things off the woman's plate so she can relax. But then also the woman needs to kind of not get so mad at the man when they're not constantly go, go, go just because she is. Like, I feel like there has to be a balance of like helping each other navigate that weird stereotype, or it's going to forever be a true norms. Stereotype.
Yeah. Which, I mean, stems from the expectations that are the different expectations placed on different genders that are like the cultural norm. But
and I feel like that's probably why women are like that.
Exactly. And especially women who are raising families or like the head of a household, because especially the modern woman being like someone who works and does all those things. And, then of course, heaven forbid that dynamic already gets started in the house. And then sometimes it's like, oh, well, she's going to handle it. I'll let her handle it. And it's like, now hold on. Like, we can't foster into that. Like, we have to recognize that isn't healthy, even if she'll just do it, and that's the trope. I do not think that's every household by any means.
Sure.
But I do think it takes adjusting to find how that flow can like go about and like the balance. And really that could kind of tie back to like something me and Nathan like discuss a lot as like a core like tenet of like relationships, whether it's friendships or romantic, it doesn't matter, is reciprocity. So, like, what you were saying, like, if the woman feels like she has to, but the man sees that, the reciprocity is like, well, yeah, I'm going to, like, take some of that off her plate, like, balance this out. Like, she's doing it, I should do it too. Like, for her. Well, take care of each other,
Yeah. And I feel like me and Dylan have always done, like, a great job at that, but I'll never forget. And this happened, like, maybe a month ago. It happened twice in a week. So the second time I wasn't very nice about it. But the first time, I forget what it was. I was in the middle of the week, so, I had work. I think I had to do something after, so I stayed super late or something. And I came home, and I think I asked him to feed Clyde or something as I was getting up off the couch. But I was going to go shower, get ready for bed, like, get all my shit done for the next day. And I said, can you go feed Clyde? And he said, aren't you up? Like, aren't you getting up? So then a couple days later, and this is when I was not so nice. Usually, like, I do all the cooking and, he helps with dishes and does all that stuff, and that's great. I cooked dinner, and again, it was a weeknight, all this stuff. I'm getting up off the couch. Dylan is not. And I said, hey, can you go put the food away? Aren't you getting up? No, and because this happened 2 days before this, I was like, are you serious? I just sat and cooked dinner for an hour and a half. He just ate, and now I need a shower, get my stuff ready, go to bed, and it's already freaking like 10 o'clock. Oof. And I wake up at 5 o'clock. So I need to go to bed. And so I didn't even listen to whatever he was trying to say to me, and I just went and took a shower. He like was talking, and I like slammed the door and like took a shower, basically to be like, I'm not doing it. Oof. And so then after I showered and everything, and I like took a second, Dylan had put away the food, and I was like, I'm sorry I like snapped at you, and I'm sorry like I didn't handle that the best way, but it's really frustrating that I just cooked dinner for you and us, which I'm more than happy to do. I love doing it, but I just cooked dinner for you. You know, I should already be in bed and I have all this other stuff to do, and you weren't going to be doing anything else. Like, if he was like doing other stuff, I wouldn't have probably asked him to do it, even though he still could have easily done it. And he was like, no, I totally get that. Like, you're right. I shouldn't have like even said anything. I should have just, like.
Can I pause you for a sec?
Yeah.
I have to point out how it's interesting, as your therapist would say, that these events occurred, I think it sounds like, after the whole, like, you discovering, like, that it's hard to ask for help. He's encouraging you to do that, but then you're asking for help, and he's questioning it.
Yeah,
okay,
this was before that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's good. That's great. Because I was like, shoot, that's going to hurt your progress. Because I'm sure that would be
this
hard.
was right before that, and I think that kind of led me into, like, and it wasn't even that I was, like, going into therapy being like, this is why I don't ask for help, and da-da-da. It was more of, like, me venting, and she was like, I see.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but so I can tell you what, I've never put away dinner since then. He just, like, he'll, like, get up off the couch in the middle of our episode. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, putting away dinner. And I'm like, oh, thank you. So,
that's
like,
great.
No, we talked about it. He's like, no, you're right. You did just cook me dinner. You do have to go to bed early. Like, you have all these other things to do. I totally get it. And it was fine after that. But I don't even know why I started telling that story.
I don't know either. But I love to see the like, I think that's, like, a great, like, full circle kind of, like, story to, like, show us how it can kind of go. But
yeah.
But I guess I want to, like, because I feel like now we've highlighted a good, like, showing how that can end up playing out in relationships. But for anybody who's, like, not, like, in a relationship or, living with someone who could, assist them in some of these things, like,
I feel like you probably have it worse.
Well, then you gotta do it all yourself. Yeah. But
well, like, having, like, that toxic productivity and not having anybody be able to take any of it off your plate, and like, you fair. Literally, it is up to you, and you know that,
like, point out that maybe you're doing that stuff. Yeah, Nathan definitely points out at times when, like, I'm going too much.
Yeah. Well, and, like, I feel like if I am in that shame spiral, I can look at Dylan and be like, listen, this has all become so overwhelming. I can't do this on my own. Like, I need your help. I know I said I would do it, but I need your help to at least get started.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't have somebody, I feel like that could be so hard, like, to not be able to look at somebody and be like, I need your help. Like, you just have to, like, find it within yourself to, like, do it. And to me, that would be so hard. So kudos to you if you're dealing with that. And
our hearts would go out to you. Our hearts go out to everybody who's dealing with any of this shit, like, any version of it, because it's all hard. Like, it really is.
Our title of the last episode was almost "We're all fucked up," and it's true.
We're all fucked up because it is true. You're right. In some way. Well, so I guess, like, can we brainstorm, like, just things to help people on, like, an individual level with some of these? So, okay, let's go back to, like, the Google, the AI overview. Okay, so, like, the always on being one of, like, the signs. You feel like you can't stop working and you must always be on the clock. So how can people turn off? What's something you do to, like, turn off?
I am a big pro and con person. I'm a big weighing the things. So, for instance, if I have something to do every single day of the week, I am going to sit there and I'm going to look at each thing and weigh out the pros and cons. And not necessarily like, do I want to do this or not? It's more of, is it something I can move or cancel?
If the answer is necessary?
Yeah, necessary. And if the answer is no, I can't move it, it is necessary, then that has to stay. So I plan
Mhm.
all those out. And then I look at the things that can be moved. And if they can be moved, I'll move them somewhere else. And then I look at, do I genuinely want to do this? Will this bring me more good or bad? And this is where I really do like a pro and con list. Like if I have all these cons and maybe my one pro is that it's going to make her happy, I'm not going.
Well, and that's where, in the people pleasing aspect,
Mm-hmm.
you have to consider yourself in that. Because, like you said,
Yes.
it's like if you're only considering, she really wants me to be there, or whatever the thing is, you know, like, and then is it necessary? But you're like, but I just can't. Like, oh, like it
Mm-hmm.
feels so hard. Then, you know, that's where you have to take yourself into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
But
Because at the
anyway,
end of the day, it's going to make you less happy than it's going to make them happy. Like if it's truly something that you were like, I can't do this right now. You know, like I'm not
well,
just
and you,
talking about like, oh, I don't really like want to go, but I have nothing else going on. Like I'm not talking about that situation. I'm talking about I have
sure.
something and you need to just find those times where you can truly turn off because you
Well,
will
because
burn yourself out and be exhausted.
if you can't show up as like the, maybe not the best version of yourself, because I know you can't always do that, but like
Mhm.
close to like the true version of yourself and how you want to show up, then you
Mhm.
probably shouldn't be, because it's like, well, then like you, like they can't even, like maybe they're like, oh my god, I'm sorry she came when like she wasn't feeling good. It's like no one's really enjoying that. Like we want
Right.
you to show up as you, and if you can't do that, you know, you should be able to advocate for yourself, and that's
Yes.
hard, but like
Mhm.
we have to keep trying.
Yeah. So that's
Something
what I
like
do.
I kind of think about with the like turning off, because my brain is bad at doing that,
Mhm.
especially when I started my business.
Mhm.
Because that's like the perfect example of like I don't have set hours. I
Yeah.
could be working on my business all the time, quite
Mhm.
literally, because there's no salary. The more I work, the more I make, you know?
Mhm.
And the less I work, the less I make. So
Right.
there's my pros and cons, but when I was trying to like, I have to be able to turn off from work. And
Mhm.
how can I do that? Some of the boundaries I kind of set was like, okay, I like to be able to really turn off on the weekends. So if I'm going to balance that, then here's like the weekdays during these times are when I'm on,
Mhm.
but then I'm off. I am fully off when I'm off. And so I also set it up
Mhm.
that way for like vacations, like I'm about to go on. Like I set up away messages. Like I'm like, I don't care if you're in a hair emergency. Figure it the fuck
I'm
out.
not gonna be there for
I
you.
am not on call for
Yeah.
you. And then another way I was implementing that on weekdays, because okay, it's
Mhm.
easy to then say, okay, it's a Saturday or Sunday, I'm off, but how do I turn off after work, you know?
Mhm.
So one of the things I started doing was, and I probably have said this on here before, is I have this a candle like on our TV stand, which is like you can see like pretty much anywhere you're at in the house. So when I was kind of like turning off for the evening, I light that candle. And
And
like
that's
that's kind of
signaling to
my
you
like,
like we're
yes.
done.
And so then if I started to think about like when I was transitioning into like that being the signal, if I started to think about work, which would sometimes cause a like spiral that like I almost couldn't get out of, I would
Mhm.
look and see that candle was lit and I'd be like, this isn't the time.
Mhm.
That can wait till tomorrow. You know,
Yeah.
the world won't fucking end if I don't handle this right now. So yeah, that's some of my
Well, and I
little
feel like that's something
tools.
like teachers struggle with so much is that because like if I own my own business and yeah, I when I was working on my business, I was making more money, I would have a problem. I would have a
Mm.
very bad toxic productivity
Yeah.
problem. But a lot of teachers struggle because our to-do list is literally never ending.
Yeah.
I could work on stuff for school literally 24 hours a day and it would never end. And
Yeah.
so when I went into teaching and I heard all these veteran teachers saying all this stuff, I'm like, that's bullshit. I'm not doing that. So my boundary is I'm there from 6:40 to 2:10. I don't get a break until 12:40. From 6:40 to 12:40, I have to be on for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't spend my planning time doing more and more and more work. I get it all done. So then the rest of the week, I can put my feet up and watch TikTok during my break, because I just went from 6:40 to 12:40 having to be like with my kids.
I would like to call that not getting on TikTok. I would like to call that you decompressing.
It is. 2 seconds. It is. Yes, it's very much decompressing. Ugh. I'm not doing that. Like, because guess what? The work is still going to be there. Mm-hmm. It's still going to be there and never be done. So my time limit is 3:00. Yeah. Whatever. As soon as 3:00 hits, I close my computer. I leave my desk as it is, and I leave.
Mm-hmm. So I guess what we're both saying is just boundaries. First, you have to identify what is the thing that you're doing that's toxically productive. Mm-hmm. And then once you identify it, you got to make a fucking boundary. Yes. And you have to stick to it. If you have a partner or a friend or somebody who can help you stick with it, sick. If you don't, you got to be your accountability partner.
And that's what I am.
Well, you said people did that to you at some point, right? Like somebody clued you in, like you're gonna burn out. You're not gonna, like, this isn't sustainable.
And thank God they did, because thank God people did say that to me, because people honestly envy me for like the attitude I have towards school, that I leave when I like reasonably and stuff like that. And it's because I have boundaries and I am not working for free.
Do you know what that could be a really good example of to tie this whole fucking thing full circle? That's you leading by example. Isn't that fucking wild?
Isn't that wild that I'm an example?
No, I just mean like what you think is like, you're like, they like find, or whatever you said, like they think I'm a good goal or whatever you said. It's like, yeah, you're like showing them what could be a better way to do things and is more sustainable. That's something I'm really passionate about with hair, especially like independently, is like how to have boundaries so that you can do this for a lot longer. Because teaching, all of these service fucking jobs are what people burn out of, because they encourage toxicity in whatever fucking way, shape, or form.
Much like service industries, the hustle culture, like where yes.
Another version, because I feel like what you're describing for yourself is, and this is what something people could ask themselves if they're trying to figure this out for themselves: how do I work smart, not work hard? Yes. But I do want to say, with this example you gave, whereas for you to be your best teacher self, you need to have those decompression breaks and you need to not stay all day and like blah, blah, blah. But maybe the other teacher knows, for them, I want that slow prep time. I want to be able to stay and have no time constraints on like what I do. So it's like, there's going to be different versions of what works for different people. That's where for you have to find what is your specific issue and then what your specific boundary should be for your specific issue. Not everybody's going to be Shelby's fix. Not everybody's going to be my fix. But also, we didn't even know we both had toxic productivity because she thought she didn't. And it's like, no, bitch, you do. Because we all fucking do. Probably to some degree, or in some area. So I think that this is something like everybody could look into within themselves and do a little work. But I think that about a lot of things. So maybe that's just me.
You're right.
Well, what do you think, guys? Are you guys toxic at home? Are you toxic at work? Are you toxic anywhere? Do you fall into this? Are you more like Shelby? Can you turn off? Can you not? Are you hustling? Do you like hustling? How do you feel about it? Tell us.
I know some people get the most joy out of the hustle culture and go, and they never seem tired.
And well, and my dad is like, he never stops, but he's also exhausted 24/7. But he would rather be like that. Like when he doesn't have stuff going on, he's bored.
Yeah.
So take it or leave it. Find your healthy, man.
Which one are you?
Find your healthy.
And if you're healthy, reach out.
Yeah, we want to interview you.
Yeah, please.
see what that's like. Well, guys, I think it's time to wrap it up. But thank you for joining us today with whatever we talked about here, and make sure you find us next time. Find us on the socials. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube.
Yes, we are.
Watch us on Spotify, watch us on YouTube.
haven't watched us or gone to our YouTube yet, that is your homework.
Mm-hmm. At least watch our clips. YouTube. We have clips.
At least our clips. At least.
Yeah. But and give it a like and follow us and subscribe if you haven't, which, like, where have you been?
And it's like 3 buttons. And it's going to do nothing else.
Whoa.
So, like,
that's too many. That's way too many.
You think you're better
But anyway, go follow us, go subscribe, go review. We love you.
Yes. Love
and
you so much.
Ta-ta for now.
TTFN. Bye. Bye.
Has that always done a countdown?
Yeah.
Do I just never pay attention?
Correct.
Perfect.
What's new?
What's new? I'm trying to get my chapstick. Sorry.
We've supposed to do that before, dude.
We've only been setting up for like an hour. I'm giving you time to get us started.
Oh. Highlight.
Oh, hi, buddy.
Oh.
Okay, well, let me figure this out. You lay on all my cords.
Is that I hear talk about Clyde be cuddly. I can be cuddly too.
He's like, pets are involved in this podcast? Yeah, he hasn't really had a debut yet, so we'll just let him have his moment.
He really hasn't.
He wants to cuddle. He knows I'm leaving soon. Oh, I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry, Bola. Anyway. Avoidance. Toxic. Oh. Oh. I have like my whole like thought process over here.
Pod, do we want the light on or off? I can't decide.
Answer below.
Bye.
Bye.